for entering the part of the year, the fall and the winter, when demand for oil is expected to be the strongest. And we're even seeing gas prices, at least here in the U.S., fall. You would think consumer demand would go up. Why are we seeing this kind of price action when it comes to oil, when it seems like demand should actually be ramping up? Is it all about the reduced demand in China?
Well, I would say that macros are driving effectively every single commodity down. And in the case of oil, it's somehow counterintuitive. As you absolutely perfectly said, supply and demand balance should suggest that as we're heading into the winter and, harvest season coming up, effectively, people are traveling still in Europe or North America. Asia's picking up. China is out of lockdowns. India is out of monsoon season. Everything is pointing towards a rather bullish picture, but we just don't have it whatsoever in the prices. The prices just reflect the doom and gloom that's in the markets about what we're going to have in the future, but they don't really reflect the short-term future overall.
So where do you see prices going? As we just mentioned, Brent crude falling below 85 a barrel right now, WTI below 80 a barrel. In the near term, at least, over the next month or so, where do you see oil prices going?
I think the natural sort of space, the natural corridor for oil prices would be somewhere between 90 and 100, because that's the corridor with which most of the oil producers would be satisfied, especially in the Middle East. Basically, now with WTI at 78 and Brent at 85, you have a situation where some countries in the Gulf already have oil prices below their fiscal break-evens. And it's not a comfortable situation. They want the oil prices to be above. That's a good enough level. And we think that good enough level is somewhere between 90 and 100 for ICE.
All right, so you're saying that's the good enough level. You may have actually already answered my next question. So we have a big OPEC Plus meeting coming up. You're saying that they're going to seek to maintain a price floor that's compatible with their fiscal break-even. And are you saying that level's 90 to 100? And what does that mean about production? Should we expect cuts?
Yes, I think OPEC Plus is seeing that macro doom in the markets and understands that right now the markets need a push. Effectively, the markets need to understand that the supply demand is still a thing, still matters, and that as we're heading into the winter, and again, November, December, will have the highest rates of crude demand this year, the entire year. That is just not reflected in the oil price. It's just completely missing. OPEC Plus could put that question back onto the agenda and put that question back, in the talking points of basically everyone. I think they will do it. They will cut production again.
So with continued sanctions on Russia, why aren't we just seeing incredible demand? I mean, you have all that oil not in the general market. I've seen reports where Russia is finding other outlets for its oil supply. But in general, it's not in the global market as it once was. Why isn't that boosting prices higher? You also cite some issues going on in West Africa as well.
Absolutely. There are supply shortages all over the place. People thought that Iran would be coming into the picture. Iran is out of the picture. Russian production is edging gradually lower as basically the EU sanctions are kicking closer and closer. And December the 5th and February are not that far away. We already have to anticipate this being out of the market. Nigeria is just completely out. The production is at the lowest in at least 30, 40 years. Again, the markets it seemed that they have forgotten this, that they no longer reflect in how prices are being formed. We think this is an issue. And again, I think that after the OPEC Plus meeting, the agenda, the talking points, how things are looking will be a bit different than is it right now. Right now, it's a lot of commodity or macro-driven effect on the commodities. Oil is different. Oil is not unlike any other commodity. There is still shortage in oil.